Pisces, hello. Welcome to Unseen Hands Healing. My name is Amanda, and this is going to be your monthly shift reading for the month of March. So we're looking specifically at the month of March, as specifically as we can, with the timing of tarot is usually pretty fluid. So we're looking at the energy that's here for you for the month of March, and the spread goes like this. We're looking at the shape you are shifting out of, the shape you're shifting into, and what that shift looks and feels like for you, okay? So what is the shift you are making this month? And I've already pulled those two main cards for you from the beautiful Wildwood Tarot here. And then we will pull the journey cards together. I just wanted to take some time to sit with the energy before I turn on the camera for you. And you know, Pisces, before I get into cards in these readings, I meditate on your energy and ask for an image that might come through and be speaking to you. And the image I saw was actually this very southern image of someone like sitting on the porch, drinking lemonade or sweet tea or something like that. And it was like hot, sweltering. The sweat was very much pouring out of you. I felt like the person I was keying into was the Pisces energy. The sweat was pouring out, but you were just sitting, allowing that to happen, and drinking a nice refreshing glass of something. And in the glass, I was very much drawn to the ice cubes. So there's something about cooling the heat, cooling the insides by the way you are hydrating yourself and the way you're just sort of like relaxing into the thick heat of something in order to like allow your body's natural process of sweating and purging to happen. I don't know. Interesting image that we're working with. Especially since, okay, before I even get into the shift, I was pre-shuffling the fairy deck for you because I'm going to use that as an oracle. And this just slid right on out of the card, this beautiful little character, this fairy Indy, which stands for indecision. And as you can see, sweet Indy is weighing up some options here and is not quite sure which way to go. And then fascinating, the shape you're shifting out of this month, Pisces, is the indecision card in the tarot, the Two of Swords. In this deck, in the Wildwood, it's called injustice. Injustice. So we have indecision and injustice already showing up for you here this month. And this is the shape you're shifting out of. The shape you're shifting into is the seer, or the high priestess. What's very fascinating to me about this shape shift, Pisces, is the eyes. We're moving from someone who is blindfolded. The arrows are crossed across their chest. They seem like, you know, especially if we pair it with Indy, there's this sense of not quite knowing which way to go, not quite knowing how to move forward, not being able to see the way, maybe. Wanting to move forward with something, but feeling like you can't. I'm drawn to the person's foot on the bow. We are not moving forward. We are not shooting the arrow. We're not pulling the trigger or taking action until we know which way to go. And then you're shifting into the seer, which is essentially a person who has the ability to see beyond human sight. Look, they are not using their human eyes to see the future, to see the answer, to read into the energy. They are feeling into the energy with their other senses. And I think that's the advice here so far, Pisces, is that it's like perhaps preoccupation with a sense of injustice, like a preoccupation with something feeling fundamentally unjust or fundamentally wrong about something you're going through, is actually stopping your progress. It's stopping your ability to see because you're looking for evidence in the outside world, when in reality, the answers or the clarity that you're seeking can't be found with the naked eye. And so the more you look for that answer in the world outside of you, the more you're going to be left in indecision, because the world we live in does not reflect a just reality. And if justice is what you're seeking, in some sense, or clarity on the way forward in a situation that you feel the scales are not balanced, it's like you've got to go to a deeper magic, a deeper knowing, a deeper way of accessing information. That seems to be the guidance this month. So let's look at what that shape shift looks and feels like for Pisces. I'll give you a couple shuffles. Okay. That's Brian Froud's fairy deck for those of you who are curious. Okay, so what is this shift from injustice to the seer? What does this look like for Pisces? Two more, please. And one more. Okay. Wow. So here's what that shift looks like for you, Pisces. We have the Three of Swords, there's the injustice, and it says jealousy. We have endurance, or the Five of Stones, and then we have 20, the Great Bear, also known as the Justice card in the regular tarot. Or sorry, Justice, Judgment. Big deal. You have, whoever I'm picking up on here, Pisces, this heart, the burning heart, this heart on fire, jealousy. I keep feeling like not being chosen, whether there was some sort of a situation where you were not chosen by a person, by a job, by an environment. Maybe you were not chosen. And that's where this like hurt or sense of injustice is coming in. It's also possible that it's the other way around and you were doing the choosing in a situation and someone else is feeling burned by your decision. Or you don't want to make a choice because you're afraid of burning someone else with this decision. But there's a hurt here. There's pain. There's emotional pain. There's heart pain, heartbreak even. And it's burning bright. The flames is strong. It hurts. It's bloody. And you're being called into this energy that says endurance. This child feels left out in the cold. They are alone. Again, the energy of not being chosen. Feeling isolated, feeling like they've been iced out somehow. There's the fire again, and they're just sort of like stoking the fire, which is keeping them alive through this storm. It's like when you're alone like that, all you've got is the skin on your back and this fire for warmth. As the storm rages outside of you, there's this sense of, even as you are feeling alone, left out in the cold, finding the warmth where you can, the peace where you can. Because it's almost like you are going to come out of this cave. The Great Bear, it's like judgment energy. There's something much larger at work here. You know, we're seeing the tomb with the stone rolled away. It's like very Jesus imagery, but it is a feeling of resurrection. It is a feeling of this like larger energy watching over you as you kind of go through what feels like a bit of a death process or a painful ending of some sort. A bit of a painful shift. It's like both of these images are showing a cave. It's like you're in the cave here, Pisces, but there's energy of you coming back out of the cave when the time is right. Having transformed, if this is you, which looks like the same being to me, moving from this very sort of physical state of stasis and suspension into a very powerful, we move from minor arcana to major arcana, a minor number 2 to the major number 2, who is the ruler of all of the 2s in the minor arcana, right? So if this is the 2 of swords, in a space, in a headspace that really just is not moving forward because of this pain, this heart pain, you are transforming by sticking with yourself and allowing yourself to be in that cave energy. Keep yourself alive with what resources you do have, because essentially this like stripping down to the bare essence that I'm feeling, it's preparing you for a resurrection. And it looks like quite a fierce one, because this bear, this great bear energy is here. It's like you are going to come out the other side of this cave, Pisces, having transformed into the high priestess, the seer. Understanding where you have come, understanding where you are going and where you are now, having greater insight and foresight than you did before. I also love for you, Pisces, that the seer is gazing into water. Not, and again, not with their eyes, is using this water that's here. It's like the water energy, and you are a water sign. That emotional, intuitive energy is what you are inviting into this mental headspace in order to move through the sense of aloneness that I'm feeling in this reading and come out the other side with that emotional experience actually as your superpower, as something that's contributing to you really coming into your Piscean nature and allowing your Piscean nature to be a power for you rather than, and by Piscean nature, I mean emotional nature. Allowing your emotions to be something that is your power, your greatness, rather than something that keeps you pinned against the wall and stuck in cycles of heartbreak and pain. Allow the emotions to move in such a way that they help you become greater than you currently are. Okay. Pisces, since it's your birthday season, let's get you another fairy. Who else is here to guide Pisces through this shapeshift in the month of March? Two. Wow. The feline and tattling the sylph. Look at this. Notice how they're both crouched and facing forward. Especially see this sylph as gearing up for forward momentum. And notice it's like, for both of them, it's head first. What I'm seeing, Pisces, is essentially this shift. This is the shift. You could be the feline in this position, which if you look closely, the energy I'm getting from this fairy today is someone who is feeling bitter. An energy of bitterness. An energy of not moving forward because of that heart pain. Because of that fire in the heart. This is someone who is pinned in place by their own emotions, by their own upset. The feline also can talk about being really wrapped up in the details. And the details of things, in this case, I'm feeling actually holding you back. The earthly details, it's like you're being called into a more elevated, more spiritual, deeper and higher at once. Pisces, I know you know what I'm talking about with that kind of Neptunian dichotomy. It is at once much deeper, a much deeper perspective, and yet a much higher perspective. This is like what some people describe as like a low vibration, high vibration, if that's something you resonate with. I'm not a huge fan of that language, but I think you know what I mean, and I think it gets to the point of what I'm trying to say. This is like a very human experience. Again, a really valid human experience, but you're being invited into an experience that is beyond your human sense of injustice and pain and upset about what happened, whatever this is that happened. You're being invited to see the higher perspective. And it's like this is like more angelic than the feline. See that? See how the sylph is more of like an angel, more filled with this sort of like otherworldly light. I think that's what we're going for. Whereas this is a heavy energy that keeps you stuck in place. This is a light energy that allows you to move forward. It's like she's gearing up to move forward away from this situation because of the higher perspective and future visioning that you're able to do, that I think gives you this perspective as to why things have happened the way they happened, so you don't get caught up in the pain and the details and the stagnancy that could result from the current experience. Okay? All right, Pisces, I'm going to take this into the extended reading now. So, for those of you who are new to my channel, the extended readings for these monthly shift readings happen on Patreon. Patreon is an online community that I have created for folks who have been following my work for some time and who are resonating with the way I pull cards. So if you, Pisces, have been following my channel for some time and you know my readings are resonating with you, Patreon might be a place where you can dive deeper into this energy with me. Okay, so click the link in the description box below and that will take you over to Patreon. I encourage you to read the full description that I've got on there so that you understand how Patreon works, and then go ahead and join the patronage if that feels right to you, and you will have access to this extended reading. Okay, so in the extended now, we're going to use some other tarot decks and oracle decks to dive into more specifics around this energy. I want to figure out what happened here. Why is this heartbreak present? And what is the process that leads to this sense of resurrection? How can you get a wider perspective? How can you elevate your perspective on this painful experience that you may be going through at this time? Okay, Pisces, so if this is resonating with you, stick around. I'm going to put a preview of that extended reading at the end of this video so that you can make sure it's resonating. If it is, maybe I'll see you on Patreon. But regardless, Pisces, thanks for joining me here in this monthly shift reading. If you're enjoying this work, please do click that like button or leave a comment. Let me know how it's resonating with you. I'd love to hear from you. And if you haven't already, do subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to stay updated as to when I'm posting videos, you can just click the little bell icon and that will turn on notifications so that you will be notified when I post readings. All right, Pisces, happy birthday, happy March, and I will talk to you soon. Oh, wow. This is cool. I'm actually seeing this as like you're in the cave right now, and the entrance, this is the stone rolled away from the cave. Go with me on that Jesus imagery, right? This is the stone blocking the entrance of the cave. This is the stone that was rolled away on Easter Sunday. Springtime, maybe that's indicating spring. The stone is rolled away, and what was once in death is now resurrected in a higher form.